Hello everyone, this is old Doc Hatfield coming to you again. Today I want to tell you, this is going to show my age, so please don't say nothing. When I was in the 8th grade, I was down at the church one day with my dad, and a fellow walked in and he said, "Hey, JD, you want to see a calculator?" I said, "What's that?" He said, "Well, it adds, subtracts, and multiplies." I said, "You're kidding me. I can add, subtract, and multiply." And he said, "I know, but this will do it for you." I said, "Why would I need to do it for me? I can do it myself." He said, "Well, do you want to see it or not?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'll take a look at it." I said, "I won't have no use for it." And he just laughed, and my dad and I, we went over to Sherman, Texas, and walked in this big old building, walked in this room, and there's this big machine sitting there. It was 6 or 7 foot tall. It was 12 foot long. It was 4 foot wide. And he said, "Let me show you something." And he had a card with a whole bunch of holes punched in it. And he pushed that in that machine. He said, "Now it's going to tell you how much a 10 times 10 is." I said, "That's 100. He said, "No, I mean, it will tell you that." I said, "Oh, whoopee." That thing made all kinds of bells and whistles go off and stuff like that. And that thing, all of a sudden, down at the very end down there, it spit out a card. And you went down there and looked on the card and it said 100. I said, "Well, look at there." I said, "Can it multiply 462 by 984? He said, "What?" I said, 462 by 984. And he come back and he said, he walked over to a lady at a funny looking typewriter and he said, "Fix me up one of them cards to say 464 by 492 or something like, or by 892 or 992, whatever." And she said, "What for?" He said, "Well, just give it to me." He put that thing in that machine and that thing sat there and it sat there and it sat there. And all of a sudden it made a kind of like a belching noise. And it went, "Woot, woot." Yip, yip. And finally, down at the end, come out a card, and on the card it had 3 question marks. I said, "Well, I guess that's more than I guess that's more than it could handle." Little did I know that it wouldn't be but just a few years that you'd be able to hold one of them things in your hand. 7 foot tall, 12 foot long, 4 foot wide. Add, subtract, and multiply. But now it was limited on the multiplications because I just showed it couldn't multiply anything. I thought you'd get a kick out of that. I was talking to my friend Dave, and he said, "You've got to tell everybody that story." I had computers ever since a computer was in the home. Very first computer I had no hard drive in it. None whatsoever. Couldn't store a thing. Big old 5 1/4 floppy disk. You turn it on, and you just have a little old thing blinking. Blink, 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 blink. Then you had a book. If I wanted to write a letter, I opened the book. It told me how to write the program to write the letter on. So I'd write the program, I'd write the letter, I'd turn the computer off, turn the computer back on, it's all gone. I mean, every bit of it was gone. I thought, well, that ain't worth nothing. So then I realized I had to save it to the floppy disk. So then I did it again, saved it to the floppy disk, and woo-loo, I could get it back again. I had something go wrong with it. So I went down to the place I bought the computer, and I said, hey, can you tell me what's wrong with my computer? He said, for $49.95, we'll do a diagnostic test. I said, whoa, slow down. $49.95, you're going to do a what? We're going to do a diagnostic test. I said, I didn't say it was sick. I said, it's broke. He said, well, we got to find out what's wrong with it. That'll cost you $49.95. I said, just to find out what's wrong with it? Are you kidding? No, not kidding. Then we'll have to fix it on top of that, and that'll cost you more money. I said, thank you very much, and I walked out the door. And I went down to a bookstore, and I got me 2 or 3 books on building computers. And I went to studying them books. I found out how to run that diagnostic test, and I did. Found out what was wrong with it. Went down to a computer parts place and got me a part for it. Come back, fixed it. I was on the road. I learned how to fix them. I learned how to build them. I learned how to re-solder motherboards, all that stuff. Learned all that stuff. I only learned all that stuff because I wanted to. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. So, anyway, I'm smoking this here Bones pipe right here. This sucker was just as light could be, but you can see it's not light now. No, siree. It's a nice little pipe. And I'm smoking some aged Maduro cavities. Which I find very pleasant. Very pleasant. Anyway, that's about all I got to say. I know y'all like my stories, and every now and then I'm sitting here and I'm going, oh, I never told that one. So anyway, this is one I don't think I've ever told, so I hope you all enjoyed it. And until we meet again, may the good Lord watch over you. May He protect you. May He supply every need in your life. Take care of every circumstance in your life. And once again, LaDon's Sweet Smokes. Bye-bye.